Are we good? I think we're good. Alright, well, this is Magic. I'm going to do some casting for you today of Europeans on the European ladder. Actually, these are more or less custom games that two players are playing. But anyways, let's jump right into these games. And we have Navislavik spawning at the top right as our red Zerg player. And then we have Mr. EmpireHappy spawned at the bottom left as our yellow Terran. These are two European players at the top of their league. I mean, they're both in Grandmasters. EmpireHappy, I believe, is #1 right now. He is a very, very talented Terran player. And his opponent, Navislavik, hailing from Ukraine, a very good Zerg player as well, also in the Grandmasters League. Not quite as high up there as he is, but it's still going to be a good set of games regardless. Today I do have 3 games for you. Just doing a little bit of a shorter thing today. I got kind of wrapped up mapping today. I got really excited about like fixing some bugs. Like, oh, I finally got some things fixed and figured out, so like I don't have to worry about it anymore. And that's always a good feeling to like hit a brick wall and you keep trying to pass it, and then like one day you actually beat it, and then you just feel so good after that. Anyways, not much going on as of yet. It looks like EmpireHappy just going to be putting that supply depot down right at the normal spot at the top of that ramp there. This is dual site for the record, in case you don't know. Pretty standard map. I mean, you don't really go super fast command center or anything like that. You can still do a lot of things on this map. It's not really like, oh, you're probably going to see more expansions, you're probably going to see more aggression. It's more of like the in-between, where you could see a lot of expansions, you could see a lot of aggression. So anyways, we do have that SV coming out to do that early scouting. It looks like this Overlord is passing right by, not going to see that SCV. SV going to walk right into the Zerg main. Seeing that hatchery go down, I believe it was a 15 hatch. And we'll see when that pool goes down if he decides to get that gas first. Yep, gas is going down first. He's going to be getting that before the pool. He's getting some pretty fast Zergling speed with that. I mean, some players like to delay the speed, get the pool up, just so you can get your queens, and then get the gas like either shortly after or right after it spawns, or completes, I should say. And then you can start getting gas for those Zerglings and defend against any kind of early pressure. However, it does look like EmpireHappy is going to lay down that early pressure. He does have a bunker going up. Let's see, does he have 2 racks? He does not have 2 racks, just a refinery and a barracks. So this is more or less just to force Zerg to pull drones off, first of all, and then second of all, maybe he'll build some Zerglings, and then of course that hurts the Zerg economy, and then you don't have to, that just sucks. You don't want to be a few drones behind. And Terran just loses 25 minerals here, so actually he's committing a little bit. He does have 1 Marine out there as well. It looks like these drones are coming all the way out of his base just to look and kill off that Marine. Actually, a second Marine here following that guy up, and I don't know if he is building 6 Zerglings to deal with this. Okay, the SV was killed off the bunker. It's not going to be completed, but there is 2 Marines here to deal with right now. I mean, he's not going to be able to do too much with those 2 Marines, especially with those 6 Zerglings coming out. But he did force Zerg to overproduce Zerglings, which could have been drones. That could have been 3 drones. That does help a lot. It does add up quite a bit in the late game. 3 drones mining like that entire time is kind of a big deal. So, anyways, looks like EmpireHappy is switching out with that factory. He does have that reactor there, so he's going to be producing a couple of Hellions here. Looks like no Blue Flame yet. He does not have a tech lab coming online quite yet. I'll see if he puts on a second factory for that or not. I do know EmpireHappy does like his mech plays. He does like Hellions. So we'll see what happens exactly. Navislavik getting that speed. Speed's going to be completed pretty shortly here, and even throwing down an extra spine crawler there for some extra defense early on. And well, he's probably going to be happily droning away from now. He is producing, well, it looks like 3 more sets of Zerglings. So we'll see how he deals with these Hellions. I guess mainly with the spine crawler, and then second of all with Zerglings. If he runs past the spine crawler, Zerglings can catch up to it. And since he doesn't have the blue flame, it's not going to like roast the Zerglings immediately. They are going to be able to do a little bit of damage, but the 2 Hellions are in here, roasting a couple of drones right off the bat, and going for another set of drones right away. Another one gets roasted, but the Hellions are cleaned up very quickly here. And well, I believe Navislavik is going to return back to droning. 3 more drones on the way, and well, EmpireHappy is going for that command center now. Pretty typical build here. We do have that, typically you get barracks, and then you get a refinery, and then you get the factory with the reactor. You know, you swap it out with the barracks, so the factory gets the reactor, and then you get a command center, and maybe you go Banshees after that. We'll see what EmpireHappy decides to do. Alright, so he's adding on another barracks first. Not going to go starport, it looks like, at least not yet. You know, generally players do like to get their starport at some points, especially against Zerg. You want to get up those drops and whatnot. You always want to punish your Zerg opponent, and that's what I love about Zerg against Terran. I think that's what a lot of people love about Zerg against Terran. There's just so much going on. You got drops going on, you got Zerg putting banelings in the ground and like rolling into their base and blowing everything up. That's always awesome to see, you know, especially if you're watching. You know, if you're playing, it's kind of like hectic. It's kind of like, oh god, I gotta defend this drop. Oh, I gotta worry about those banelings. But it's you know, when you're watching, it's really, really entertaining. But anyways, it looks like 4 Hellions here, just gonna be patrolling around the map, picking off that creep tumor very wisely so, and just kind of patrolling around, making sure Zerg does not pull anything funny, trying to get Zerglings around the map. Actually, already has Zergling outside the Terran base, so we'll see if those Hellions return back to clean that up. I believe EmpireHappy does not know about that Zergling yet, but I'm sure he's going to find out soon, since he is going to be doing that pretty fast expansion there. And, well, Hellions are now returning back as well, so there's that Zergling that gets roasted right off the bat. And, well, let's see, do we have layer tech? No layer tech quite yet. He does have the +1 melee attack already coming down, already mostly finished here, and that helps a lot. You know, I didn't think it helped as much as it does. It helps actually a lot. Just like Marines +1 helps significantly against Zerglings. Zerglings with +1 helps significantly against Marines. So let's see if Terran puts down an engineering bay for those upgrades as well, and then you can, you know, counteract those plus upgrades. Maybe get some armor, maybe get some attack, maybe they run on both. We'll see. Anyways, another Zergling coming in here, getting killed off. Meanwhile, there are some Hellions still patrolling around the map. It looks like the same 4. And, well, there's a macro hatch that might get picked off. Not really into these Hellions, but it's kind of in a... Well, it's in a good spot. You know, it makes it so it's harder for Hellions to move up there, but at the same time, you know, there's a little bit more in danger there as well. And look at those Zerglings getting that good wrap around those Hellions. Those Hellions didn't stand a chance. Nope, not without their blue flame. Meanwhile, it does look like EmpireHappy does have a couple tanks out here, throwing down a couple more supply depots, just walling it off a little bit more, making it a little bit harder for Zerg to bust in there, and all that crazy business that Terran has to deal with. Anyways, the layer is coming online now. He does have it going up in the main, and I'm curious to know when Navislavik is going to be taking his expansions. If he takes 1, maybe he'll take 2. It does seem kind of late. Actually, it's taking 1 right now in the corner here at the top left. And, well, we'll see if Terran goes for a faster command center or if he's going to lay down a lot of pressure off these 2 bases. Two base plays generally really strong, but at the same time, you don't really have a backup plan if it loses. So, generally speaking, I do like to see a lot more backup plans. I like to see more command centers go down. And, well, EmpireHappy even threw down a bunker, so I wonder what he's going to be doing from here on out. He does have a Viking out. Going to be looking for those overlords. Already found one, looks like, right outside the Terran base there. And, well, he's adding on 2 more, or I guess 1 engineering bay to start those upgrades. Actually, already has one somewhere. Where is it? There it is, in the back of the Terran main. Kind of an odd spot for it, but at the same time, that's, you know, just a good way to zone it out. You know, if you have roaches in your base, you know, roaches are going to hit this engineer. You know, if they're back here, they're not going to be able to pass it, just like Hellions would not if Zerg put something there, you know. So that's always a good call, you know. Just, you know, containing space, you know, making it so it's harder to deal that kind of stuff. Oh wow, okay, there's a drop in the back here. Killed off that expansion. Looks like the expansion is going to resume building now. Because it was cancelled, and it looks like the Marines just want to heal up, but the Zerglings are not going to let them. And so, well, the Zerglings do have +1 armor now as well. And Terran, well, he's getting his plus armor and plus attack at the same time. He might be able to catch up on those upgrades since he does have both engineering bays working on him. Meanwhile, it does look like Zerg is doing what is he doing? He's got an infestor pit. Going to be adding on some infestors. Infestors, of course, can be very good against pretty much everything. You know, use your fungal growth, makes it so the Hellions can't run in and out, and you just kill them. Against tanks, you can use infested Terrans, which is pretty awesome. And then against Thors, you can use Neural Parasite, and that's, of course, really awesome as well, just to take over a big unit like a Thor. You know, that's like the whole point of Neural Parasite. I'm really glad Blizzard did not change that, because for a second there, it looked like they were going to on the last patch, but decided against it. Anyways, looks like a couple Zerglings here just waiting to bust in there. There is that Destructible Rock there, going to be delaying that. Actually, the Zergling's going to start at it right away, but Terran is going to be finding that out. Killing off some Zerglings. Nope, the Zergling's going to be walking back. And it looks like Terran, well, it looks like he stimmed after those few Marines, or those few Zerglings. Not really the best idea, but he does have some medevacs to heal up. It's not a big deal. And, well, that Viking, let's see, he has 3 kills. I believe all 3 of those are Overlords. And, well, he might be getting another one. There's that 4th one. And now he's sprinting forward with a couple of Marines that's going to go right up to this expansion here. Actually, Zerg put up another expansion in the corner. And, well, Zerg has some really good creep spread all over the map here, going all the way up to that base. So he's going to be pretty well defended, pretty much against everything. You can just move units pretty quickly along that highway. It's really up to Terran to really take it out, make it so that Zerg can't really get to that base so easily, and then, you know, you can just do whatever you want to it and just kill it off, so that's always a good feeling. Anyways, looks like the drop is going to try to continue into the natural here, but that Spore Crawler is going to keep it at bay for now. And, well, both players just kind of sitting back, not doing too much, you know, just trying to pick away at their opponent right now, you know. I mean, Terran has quite a few tanks out here, not too many, but quite a few. Adding on a couple of Marines as well. Let's see, what else is he getting? He's getting that other command center, so he's going to be taking a 3rd, probably pressuring during all this. And probably going the most direct route. But, I don't know, he's probably going to be laying down that command center over here or over here. I would suspect in the corner, bottom corner, since there is, well, that Marine's picking up that Zergling, first of all. Second of all, because of the position of it, of course. And, well, there's another drop going up here to the top again. But there are a lot of Banelings here, a lot of Zerglings. And even that Spine Crawler, I mean, there's really not going to be much of a drop here. After all that happens, actually scouting a little bit with that Viking, so he might not actually go up there. Nope, he's saying, you know what, maybe I'll just go a different way. A lot of Zerglings on the map just kind of roaming around and just kind of run, whoa, actually a whole line of Infestors as well. Making sure that there isn't like a giant drop, but there is a little bit of a drop here, so Zerg does have to worry about a little bit. Well, there's just a lot of Zerglings here, I don't know, he's going to have to pick up there and get out of there. Well, there's good fungal growth, a couple of infested Terrans, and these medevacs are going to be killed off. There's really not much they can do at this point, except die. And, yep, there's that last fungal growth, killing off that last one. And, well, there's a bunch of tanks here. He does have the +1 upgrade for him, and he's investing in the +2 vehicle weapons as well as the +2 infantry armor and weapons. So, Terran just getting his upgrades. Let's see, what does Zerg have? Does he have any? Nope, he's just sticking with that +1/+1 for now. Just not getting that +2 quite yet. And, well, we'll see when he puts it down. He's getting a pretty fast hatchery here, or I mean, hive here with that hatchery. And, well, I wonder if he's going to be going Ultralisks or if he's going to be going for those Broodlords. Both, of course, very good against everything. You know, those units just like smash faces. You don't have to even worry about what you're up against so much. I mean, of course, if you get Broodlords, you want to have some Corruptors or something to fight those Vikings. But, you know, or Infestors. Infestors work pretty well against them as well. But we'll see what he decides to go. And, well, it looks like Zerg is going to be a little bit on the aggressive here. Maybe he wants to take out this base in the corner here. He does have that planetary fortress there, I should say. And we'll see. It's, well, it looks like actually Terran moved all his guys over there already. So just being very wise, very knowing of where the Zerg army is. And wow, he's not sieged up in time, and that's going to be a lot of dead tanks and Marines there. Some pretty good burrow there as well. So we'll be smashing the rest of this here. And, well, those Zerglings, I mean, they are down on upgrades, but they still killed all those Marines pretty easily with that fungal growth. That's always very awesome to see. And we do have another command center floating over to the, well, to the expansion over here, the gold. And we'll see if he's able to keep it or not. There's a lot of Zerglings running around. He's kind of hoping that Zerg does not find that expansion. But, I don't know. He could possibly lose to this one, this planetary fortress. Looks like the Infestors are not going to help engage this. And, well, I don't know if there's going to be enough Zerglings to actually bust this down, but he's going to be able to do some pretty good damage. You know, not really so much the planetary fortress that, of course, can just be repaired, but the SV line and all that. Let's look at the unit counting tab. We have 79 drones to 56 SCVs. That's just a lot of drones. Like 80, like, you know, usually around like 70 or 80 is when you want to stop. So I mean, just if you want 80, that's like a perfect stop count. You know, players that just know how many drones or how many workers they have, and just know when to stop and be like, yeah, you know what, that's enough. I don't need to get any more of those guys. And how about this? A lot of banelings morphing at the bottom right here, gonna possibly take out this planetary fortress. I'm not sure if that's enough banelings, but he could just kill off all the SCVs, of course. That's always going to be a good play. Well, he's got his infestors to help with that as well, so we'll see if he puts down fungal growth or infested Terrans. And he's putting down infested Terrans, and there's all the banelings going in there, doing some pretty good damage, but whoa, okay, so it actually took it all the way down to the red. SV's repairing it now, and there's just not enough infested Terrans. I think he was hoping that, okay, I'm going to run in there with the banelings, do critical damage, and then finish it off with those infested Terrans. But the SVs were just way too quick to repairing that. And he just didn't have quite enough banelings, you know, or just not quite enough infested Terrans, or maybe just timed it a little bit off. It's really hard to say, because, I mean, the timing for that, it really depends on the Terran's timing of how fast he is to repair it and all that. So, anyways, it looks like EmpireHappy is going to be moving to the top here with a small engagement for us here. And Zerg just running around with a lot of Zerglings. He does have the +2 attack and armor now. And we'll see, well, EmpireHappy is taking out a couple of creep tumors. And, well, Zerglings have surrounded it, and I don't know if there's enough Marines here to really take out that many Zerglings. Just way too many. And, well, not going to be enough. You know, Terran really needs to keep his bases going. You know, this base was obviously taken out. This Marine is the sole survivor, trying to pick off the Overlords. And, well, actually, it's the same with this. But this Viking has 11 kills. Like, that's ridiculous. 11 kills on a Viking, just killing off random stuff, you know, Overlords, and, well, EmpireHappy does give the GG, just not enough guys there. I don't know, I felt like he just didn't have a lot of Marines, like, the entire game, like, but, I mean, if you look at his money, like, he's got so much gas, like, what the hell was it? Like, did he just not have enough SCVs? Like, I don't feel like that's the case. He had plenty of SCVs. I mean, did lose some here and there, and that was a big contributing factor, but, jeez, Zerg just smashing face, you know, just having so many drones everywhere, so many different bases. Anyways, we do have 2 more games going, so let's check those out. I can check my message, I believe I just got. It's not important. Alright, well, let's get into this. Game number 2, as I drink some honey water. Alright, so we have EmpireHappy spawning at the top 12 o'clock position as our yellow Terran once again. And we have Navislavik spawned at the right hand side at the, well, it's the 3 o'clock position as our red Zerg player. Well, once again, Navislavik hailing from Ukraine on the Grandmaster's level. And EmpireHappy hailing from Russia. Very good player, top, I think he's ranked #1 right now on the European server. So you don't want to take this guy lightly. Navislavik just doing a good job last game, making sure Terran did not have too many expansions, making sure he did not get out of his base very easily. But this is a much bigger map. It's Terminus Re, so we'll see exactly what happens here. It is more of a macro map than the last one. The last one is more of a standard. You know, it's kind of harder to take your third on that base, or on that map. But on this one, it's pretty easy to take a third. You know, third's kind of like connected to your natural here. It does only have 5 minerals and a Vespene gas. I mean, it only has 1 gas and 5 minerals. That's like not 8 minerals and 2 gas, so I mean, it's not as quite of a good third, but it's still a very nice third to have, so because it's so easy to defend it. But of course, positioning is very important on this map. You know, the way the map works, it's like everything is clockwise or counterclockwise depending on how you look at it. And I mean, the natural here for Zerg, and the natural, or the third natural third for Zerg, natural Zerg for, or natural third for Terran is on this side, making it much harder for Zerg to bust in there, you know, with like a drop or something like that. You know, getting an Overlord all the way out there is kind of hectic, kind of annoying. You don't want to have to do that, so I mean, it's not really something a lot of players do. Meanwhile, the Zerg base here, the Zerg third, is very easily dropped, very easily like harassed, so I do wonder if EmpireHappy is going to be doing a lot of drops or not. Well, this must be a little bit different. I mean, I don't remember this rock being here and this ramp being here. So it looks like they changed Terminus Reed just a little bit. You know, it's adding those rocks just to make it a little bit easier to bust into that third. But we'll see when those are taken and if their opponents decide to try to harass it or not. Anyways, back at the bases, we do have EmpireHappy adding on a factory, and well, there's a reactor going up too, so I believe he's going to be adding on a lot of Hellions with that factory, and just busting in there, roasting as many drones and whatnot as he can. For Zerg, you know, this choke here, this choke's kind of wide. I mean, it's for your natural, it's like kind of like so-so, but it is kind of far away from where your hatchery is. So I mean, you really gotta, holy crud, crazy lightning. Okay, what was I saying? It's really up to Zerg to spread that creep up to here so that you can put down a spine crawler and all that good stuff. But of course, that takes a lot of time. You know, Hellions generally get there before that happens, so we'll see what Navislavik decides to do to defend against Hellions once he finds out that there are Hellions on the, well, actually, I'm sure he knows already there's a drone in the base after all. And, well, Hellions are starting to be produced. The hatchery just finished not that long ago. He does have some queens coming out, and I do wonder what he is going to do against this. He does have Zergling speed on the way. He's getting a couple of Zerglings. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. You know, this is, like I was saying, this is like a hard thing to, you know, it's hard for Zerg to keep this hatchery, or keep the drones at the hatchery, I should say, against Terran on this map. You know, you just got to get up like extra spine crawlers or extra Zerglings, just something to zone that big area. These Zerglings even attacking that supply depot, that lowered supply depot at the bottom of the ramp there. And, well, the Hellions are out here now. The Queen is absorbing some of the damage, making sure that Creep Tumor is up and running. Just going out a little bit too far, you know, just to make sure that that Creep Tumor survives. That's going to be very, very important. And looks like this one drone is going to be killed off before reaching the main. And, well, more of the Zerglings. Zerglings are back here in the main. And, well, the Spine Crawler moving his way up. Going to be helping that defense. EmpireHappy just going back a little bit, you know, joining forces with the rest of his Hellions to keep up the pressure. Spine Crawler now moving forward. He does have that Creep Tumor out, so I mean, he did zone it pretty good right here. Of course, Hellions could still sneak by. And, well, there's even 2 more Hellions joining that pack, so there is 6 Hellions here. And I do wonder if he's going to be getting the Blue Flame or not. You know, oh wow, he's going like all in with these Hellions. He has 2 factories building with 2 reactors on it. That's 4 Hellions cranking out all at once. That is a lot to deal with. But it looks like he's not going to be going Blue Flame. You know, that Blue Flame only gives +5 now. It doesn't give +10. So I mean, it's kind of a big difference. And well, he's just deciding to get more Hellions instead of more damage for his existing Hellions. And, well, Zerg's getting a Baneling Nest, which is very intriguing to me. I suppose it's more or less because, you know, the follow-up for this is, like, Marines and tanks. So, I mean, you want to get Banelings so that you can bust those Marines. But, I don't think he knows about the double factory quite yet. And, well, there's going to be a lot of Hellions, like I was saying. There's a Command Center now going down as well. Going to be taking his natural during all this. And, well, there's already a lot of Hellions out. That's just too many Hellions. Like, I feel like if Zerg found out and realized, okay, he's going double factory Hellion, then I can just go Roach and just kill them all. But he doesn't know that. You know, you can't just assume that. It's so easy for Terran to just switch the tech out. And all these Hellions coming in here now. And there's a lot of Zerglings out here, but there's not going to be enough. There's just way too many Hellions. Not enough surface area. And, well, the rest of these drones are going to be cleaned up if they don't return to the natural, or to the main, I should say. And, yeah, that's going to be the last Soul Scribe. Nope, he's not going to survive. The Queens have blocked the ramp. These Hellions are not going to get up there, but the Queen is dying. There's just too many Hellions here. You know, they don't do much damage to, like, normal units. They only do 8 damage, but, you know, you can still take out a Queen if you have enough, of course. And, well, I don't believe Navislavik is going to have enough to defend this. He has 12 Zerglings coming out. He just got some. And, well, he really needs Roaches against that many Hellions. There's just a lot more Spine Crawlers. He just doesn't have it. And there's just going to be way too many drones roasted here. I believe this is going to be a good game. This is just carnage. This is just destruction. Okay, well, he cleans it up. He only has so many drones left, though. And, you know, EmpireHappy just got his expansion finished, which means he's going to be perfectly good later on, you know, whereas Navislavik just lost so much. So much. 24 SCVs to 14 drones. Or no, that's actually 14 Zerglings. He only had like 7 drones. Now he has 12. Yeah, this is not looking good at all for our Ukraine player here. Maybe we'll have a comeback. I don't really know. It's 50 food to like 30 food right now, so I don't believe so. But we'll see. We'll see. We have a bunch more Hellions already gathered up for the next round of attacks. Once again, no blue flame being researched. Just getting up a lot of Hellions. Another factory going down, so he's going pretty heavy mech this game. Getting 3 factories right off the bat. You know, he is using his barracks, just for the record, just to crank out some extra Marines. You can put that in that bunker and then defend this natural pretty well against, well, pretty much everything. And, well, Navislavik did add on another spine crawler to the front here. Moved him up to a good location, but of course Hellions can just sneak by. They're pretty fast. They're not like super fast, but they're fast enough to get by there. They do have 4.25 movement speed, which is pretty darn good. And, well, there goes one creep too. Actually, yeah, the other one was cancelled. One was killed off, but one was cancelled, so he's still good to spread that creep. But the Hellions are going to maybe sneak by here. The Zerglings coming right up here, making sure that they don't get too far. And, well, there's just too many Hellions. They absorb, actually, you know, I mean, it's not that they absorb a ton of damage, but enough to be able to sit there and take some hits from those spine crawlers. And there's the good game from our Ukraine player. And so let's get into game number 3. Man, crazy thunderstorm going on outside. I did not expect that at all. Alright. Honey water for the win. Alright, so we have Navislavik spawned at the, well, it's 2 o'clock position. I call it the top left, or I mean the top right, not the top left. That would be kind of weird. But anyways, he is our red Zerg player. And EmpireHappy, of course, taking the left-hand side base randomly, of course, but he's our yellow Terran player. And, well, it's Metalopolis. This is a pretty standard map as well. It is cross positions, though, and it is the MLG version, so there's that supply depot at the bottom of the ramp. Not going to be any kind of barracks supply depot wall off at the bottom, and then another wall at the top. You know, that just pretty much prevents it, or prevents Zerg from doing a Banelink bust. I mean, it's kind of like having a double wall. It's like, okay, if you bust down one wall, I still have another wall for you to deal with. And, you know, if you don't bust down the wall, you're not going to know what the other wall is. You know, is it a factory? Is it a starport? Is it a barracks? You don't know. Because, and I always hate that. I absolutely hate that. You know, not to know, like, what that building is a big blow to me. You know, is it going to be going a lot of Marines? Is it going to be going for a factory? Maybe a starport? Who knows, man? And that just sucks. But anyways, looks like EmpireHappy sending that SB out to scout. And going right over to... Apparently he's going to scout the fast air position first. Not sure why that is, as usually you could just look for that overlord in your base. You know, you don't really have to scout the fast air position like ever. If you want to go to the other side of the map, scout the fast ground and scout across, all that good stuff. I don't know, I just feel like that's better. Might not be, maybe it just works really well with this play, who knows. But Navislavik getting that early hatchery up like he always likes to do. And the extractor going down as well. Going to be getting up that spawning pool next, I believe, once he hits that 200 mark. And, well, it does seem like a pretty late gas, actually. This gas seems a little bit delayed, but so does the spawning pool. You know, generally speaking, I do like to get a 14 spawning pool, and then, like, they both finish at the same time, you get double queen, you know, all that good stuff. It does leave you a little bit vulnerable early on. It sucks if you get, like, pressured, but... Navislavik even getting a gas before he gets that pool, so the queens are going to be slightly delayed, but he's going to be able to get up that Zergling speed ASAP and just pressure. Meanwhile, it looks like EmpireHappy not going to be putting down that bunker. It definitely looked like he was going to, but not with that drone there. He's going to see that and then be like, totally going to kill it. You're not going to do anything with that. Ooh, this overload's going to be caught off guard, though. If nothing else, you know, this Marine being there, just a very good win for EmpireHappy. You know, just getting Overlord blocked this early in the game is a big freaking deal. You know, this is the time when you want to drone. If you can't drone right now, you're going to be way behind for the later stages of the game. So that's a pretty big loss right there. He does have actually another Overlord right on time, so not even a big deal. So very well played by Navislavik. Just You know, I think he was actually already getting one out, but you know, just for in the future. But or maybe he realized, okay, this Overlord's probably gonna die. I should get another one out. Either way, very good play by him. And well, there's a factory and a reactor once again, so I believe EmpireHappy is going to be going to some more Hellions and all that crazy business. And we'll see what he does next if he adds on a command center. It seems like a pretty... Nope, he's going to be going for a double factory with this. Maybe a double factory play just like the last game. Busting there with a whole bunch of Hellions. Not really the best map for it. You know, this is a little bit easier to hold off. You know, because, I mean, the ramp is really close to your hatchery. It's pretty wide here. But at the same time, you know, you can zone it with spine crawlers and all that. So I mean, you feel pretty safe considering. And I mean, having this hatchery so close to the ramp just means you can have a spine crawler that guards both pretty easily. So I believe Navislavik is going to be all right this time if our Terran hero EmpireHappy decides to do that. Meanwhile, the first Hellions are about to pop out here. He does have another. Oh wait, no, that's the first barracks. My bad. Well, he's added on another reactor, so he is probably going to be going for that double factory, double reactor, 4 times the Hellion counts. And, well, let's see, how many are outs? Looks like 4 are outs already, making their way across the map. And we'll see what Navislavik decides to do. He does have a spine crawler going up already. He's getting a little bit earlier. Wants to make sure that these Hellions not bust in there. You know, EmpireHappy decides to do it once again. And even has Queen at the ramp. Not even going to spew larva, just going to say, you know what, screw it. I just don't want to die. Don't want to die. I'm not going to use that Queen for that larva inject. No, which is okay, I guess, in some situations, but you know, you don't want to delay it too long. Anyway, some roaches are out now, so he is going to go back to spewing that larva. Roach warren. You don't want to make the same mistake as last time. You want to get a roach warren up. Roaches are pretty awesome against everything. You know, like I'd say, banelings are highly specialized units. Like they're good against Marines. They're good at burrowing. They're good at taking out structures and SCVs. Not really something you want to use against mech or anything like that, you know. Whereas roaches are good against mech and fair decent against infantry. You know, as long as there isn't like a ton of marauders, you're going to be okay with your roaches. So Navislavik is getting a couple of roaches for that early defense, and of course that actually allows you to drone more than if you got zerglings and all that stuff. But anyways, holy crap, there's a lot of freaking Hellions out here already. That was just like a big stream of Hellions. And it looks like they're going to take the long way around, passing by that Overlord. The Overlord does see it, so well, it looks like Navislavik doing a good wall here. I do like this a lot. Actually, this is what I do. Ooh, a big plunder in his wall though. This Hellion's gonna get right by, and the drones are in trouble. But the roaches are gonna be blocking the rat, making sure those Hellions do not get up there. And well, these Hellions are pretty much trapped in here. That's kind of like big thing about this. You know, if you bust in there, you know, this is why you don't want to try to bust in there. You know, why a lot of pro players do not try to bust in there, because it just doesn't really work. I mean, once you do bust in there, even if you kill off some drones, you're going to lose all your freaking Hellions. Because how are you going to get out? Like, as you just saw, you cannot get out of that. You know, that's, like I was just saying, that's exactly why pro players do not try to just, like, run past spine crawlers and kill as many drones as humanly possible before they die. You know, it's like you don't want to sacrifice those Hellions. Because now EmpireHappy is quite behind after that. I mean, look at it. He only has 2 Marines. He does have quite a few structures. That's always going to be good. Looks like he does have... Well, he switched out his factory, you know, he doesn't have that reactor, he does have that tech lab now. And, well, he has a pretty fast armory as well, so actually, he's going some pretty fast Thors here. And we'll see what he's going to be able to do with that. You know, they're very slow. Zerg can always abuse their mobility, and that's exactly what you want to be doing. You know, if you see Thors coming to your base, just notice his main, you know, like, what's he going to do about it? He's just going to lose his main. And then by the time the Thors get there, you can get all your guys back and just, like, be fine to defend, you know? Like, that's such a good feeling. Like, I love that feeling. Niduses are awesome. But anyways, it looks like, well, the barracks is going to be landed down there. Just to zone the area a little bit more, doing some pretty good SimCity. And those Hellions are going to be blocking it, you know. Some jerks. And while there's 3 factories here, let's see, one... Oh, another command center going up as well. So, it's kind of a risky move to me. I mean, you can... I mean, if you do go Thors, big immobile units like that, it's hard to defend so many bases. So I mean, this command center, I mean, he could use it just to add on SCVs, add his natural and his main, which would be totally awesome. But if he tries to take that out to expand, Zerg can really abuse that, and that's going to be really shitty to deal with. I mean, of course you can. I mean, if you have Hellions running around, then you can kind of zone the map with your Hellions, and just watch for roaches. You know, if roaches come out of the base, and you can be like, okay, I need to defend this specific area, and all that. Anyways, these Hellions are just going to be roasting some creep tumors, making sure that creep is not spread across the map, but it looks like these roaches are on their tail, not going to be able to kill off that last creep tumor, and they're going to have to hightail it home. Meanwhile, let's see, what else is going on in here? Plus upgrade, yes, plus upgrade just started for that Terran mech. So this is a very highly mech play. I do like to see this. I do like to see mech play once in a while. I mean, it's not that I feel like infantry play is best, or mech play is best, or having tank marine is best. It's kind of like however you play it. If you play it well, it's going to be good. You know, like different things require different plays. Like, you know, if you go infantry, you got to drop a lot. You can expand a lot because you can zone a lot. But with mech, you can't really zone a lot. You can't really expand a lot. You got to do these slow pushes and just hope your opponent doesn't kill you, and just hope that your mech play is strong enough that he just can't kill your main army. Because once that main army is gone, it is gone. It's going to take forever to replenish it. It's not like Marines and Marauders or tanks and Marines where you can just replenish it really fast and all that good stuff. So anyways, lots of roaches out here just going to be patrolling around, making sure that no funny business happens. And it looks like Terran is going to be trying to take that gold. Now, of course, there is that Overlord over at the third, so that's not really the best place unless you take it out. And then, of course, the Zerg player can assume you're expanding there, so I mean, that's not really the best. For mech play, I'd say this is the best expansion. You can easily put tanks up here and then make it so Zerg cannot run by as easily. And, well, there's a couple of Overlords just kind of spreading around the map. And a lot of roaches moving their way across now as well. They just got the burrow movements. And, well, it looks like this planetary fortress is, well, actually not going to be taken out. The Thors are too many Thors there, you know, not enough roaches. Roaches are decent against Thors, but he just doesn't have enough to really deal with that many Thors right now. And, well, we'll see if Zerg decides to put down another expansion or if he's going to build up a huge force to try to attack in there. Yeah, there's the transfer of SCVs. In counting tab, we do have 49 SCVs to 71 drones. That is a lot of drones. It's 14 minutes in, so I mean, he has like a ton of drones. Considering all that's happened with his Hellions and getting those spine crawlers and roaches and whatnot up, I'd say he's doing very well on his drone counts. You know, lately I've been kind of saying to myself, well, actually, hold that thought. Looks like these Hellions are going to be killed off one of them and pressuring a little bit. Roach is going to be backing off now. What I was saying was, lately I've been kind of testing myself and seeing like how many drones can I get up at a certain time. You know, I've realized that lately I can get like 80 up at 14 if, you know, if my opponent doesn't pressure me like at all, except for a couple of Hellions or something like that, and maybe a couple of Banshees. But you know, you can't really, you know, that's usually against like a bad player or something like that. If you play against a good player, you can't really just drone up like that. And while there's a Nidus in the main here, I totally just kind of, I heard it, and I was like, where's that? But there's lots of roaches streaming in here, and he's abusing that slow mech right now. And this is exactly what you want to be doing. If your Terran opponent has the gold with mech, there's really not much you can do to defend his main. You know, he's got it zoned by ground, but he doesn't have it zoned by air. I mean, you can use mutas. Mutas do help out quite a bit. That's usually the favorite. But at the same time, if you get caught off guard by like one good Thor volley, you could take some heavy damage. Of course, Marines can do the same kind of thing, just kill off a lot of dudes. But wow, okay, so these Hellions do have the blue flame this time, but that doesn't help out against roaches, man. A lot of Hellions dying, but at the same time, this tank's just sieged up a little bit too far forward, and be taken out as well, and now these roaches are going to be retreating with a small victory there from these Thors. Now Zerg can really just attack this gold position right now, and you know, that's exactly the best play that you might want to be doing. But it looks like the roaches are going to be threatening the natural, which is a good idea as well. Let's see how much damage you can actually do. Two tanks sieged up on the high ground there. These roaches do not want to get too close to that. You're going to be burrowing and moving in back. And, well, very good play there. You know, you take what you can without losing your shit. You know? Like, kill as much as you can without losing your shit. That's what it's all about. That's what good play is. I'm so sick of seeing players, like, do a drop and, like, sacrifice every single guy in that drop. You know, it's like, just load up and get out of there, you know? I mean, it's true that you're probably busy in your base taking care of things, but just get you guys out of there. You know, they're doing something for you, you should do something for them, and just get them the fuck out of there. Anyways, meanwhile, Zerg is taking some more bases. He does have another one at the bottom natural, as well as the main natural at the bottom. Or the, I keep saying natural today, I'm not even sure what it is. But he does have quite a few roaches out here, a couple of infestors as well. Let's see, what else are they producing? Neural Parasite coming online as well. Going to be able to take over those Thors. Always a good call. I love using it on Thors. That's like the best counter to Thors, if you ask me. Like, I just remember Ultras. I've sent so many Ultras to kill off my opponent, and it just didn't work. And I sent so many Lings, and I sent so many Roaches, like nothing worked against this like pure Roach or Thor army. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use Neural Parasite, use your Thors against you, and then what? And that was like the only thing that worked. So I mean, Neural Parasite against Thors is pretty darn awesome. But of course, when you have tanks backing them up, it's kind of hard to do that. You know, those tanks can always just attack your dudes, and they die pretty fast. So you gotta worry about that. And well, there's a couple of Roaches back here. Maybe gonna do some counterattack play here while Terran moves out. Nope, Terran's gonna move right back and say, hey, you know what? You're in my vision of my sensor towers. You know what? You shouldn't be there, so I'm gonna go and kill you now. But a couple of Roaches still gonna survive. Not a big deal. You know, these tanks and Thors not gonna be able to catch up to them. You know, Thors almost 2 movement speed, tank just over 2, and these Roaches, what, 3? And then they get a bonus on creep, of course, so it's awesome. Alright, so big push coming out here by Terran. He does have, what, 5 Thors, a whole lot of tanks. Meanwhile, there are a couple of Roaches in the back here, going to be threatening that natural. And, well, Terran has pulled all the way back just for a couple of Roaches, you know, like... you know, what else can Terran do when you go mech? Mech is, to me, really hard to play, but... you know, play it well, so you zone the map really well. I mean, some players can do it, they have that kind of mind. And wow, sneaky, a couple of Roaches back here of the Terran main. Past the line of sight of the missile turret. You know, the missile turret does have 11 detection range. And, I mean, it shoots in a range of 7, but its detection is already all the way up to 11. So, I mean, I believe this is out of 11, so he's not going to see him there. But anyways, they're going to unburrow, do some good damage there. And, yeah, now he knows about it. He's going to have to pull his army all the way back there. I mean, the thing is, you got your Hellions. Your Hellions are fast, but the Hellions are not good against Roaches. So I mean, it's like, what can you really do? You just kind of lose your Hellions, and so the rest of the guys catch up, and there goes the Roaches, being cleaned up pretty easy peasy. Unit count tab, 94 drones. This guy just loves his drones. He has 2 more bases here. He even took like half of Terran's side of the map. That's how many bases this guy wants. And well. There's only 69 SCVs, but of course that's usually around what you want. So, I don't know, we'll see if those drones are gonna help out or not. You know, if Terran keeps pressuring, actually in this kind of play I'd say that's a good idea. You know, if Terran has slow units, not gonna be able to attack you constantly, then just overdrone so you get a whole bank of money, and then you can just keep throwing units at it, you know. And if you lose a base or whatever, no big deal, you just... You know, if you lose a couple drones, no big deal. You can just add on units and then take out that big force. Of course, against infantry, you do want kind of like some extra guys so you can, you know, watch for drops, watch for things, and do some counterattacks. Looks like these Roaches, actually, speaking of counterattacks, going to be going right up to the natural here. Terran out of position, taking out that natural, or that Zerg base at the top there. And while these Roaches are going to be able to do some more damage in this natural. See if it takes out this missile turret. That's going to be pretty big if Terran does not replace it. And, well, it looks like that's going to be repairing it. Nope, apparently not repairing it. He's just kind of patrolling back and forth. I'm not sure what he's doing. He should be repairing right now. He's not. He kind of just let that missile turret fall. The Roaches are in the base. Going to be taking out a lot of SCVs right now. But the thing is, there is... Well, actually... where'd all the tanks go? Did he leave some behind or something? I mean, I feel like he should have had more tanks survive after that, but apparently not. Well, there is 5 Roaches still alive in the Terran main. Or natural, I should say. And Terran's going to have to... Well, apparently he wants to spend his money really bad, going to be getting up 3 command centers all at once. And, well, not going to be able to do too well against these Roaches here. Actually, these roaches could just go right back to that Nidus. I mean, Vikings aren't really good against roaches, but I mean, there's just so many Vikings there. He kind of wants to get back in there, yeah. And, well, Zerg taking another base. Well, there's Terran took out another base. And, well, Zerg is just so ahead on bases. I mean, he does have a lot of drones, which is awesome. He has, like, the economy can just keep throwing away units all day long, which is going to be awesome. Whereas Terran can't afford to do that. He has to be much more cautious with it. And well, there's a lot of grounded Vikings here. The Vikings aren't going to help out too much. But, I don't know, I feel like it's time for Terran to really just push forward. Maybe he's waiting for that +3/+3. He does have +2 attack right now. And, well, his infantry, let's see, does he? He probably doesn't have any infantry upgrades at all since he's not going infantry, but, Oh, at this point it's kind of like, okay, is Terran going to be, you know, he really needs to make a move, but at the same time, he has such a slow-moving army. You know, if you make a move, is there going to be busted in there, do some good counterattacking with this Nidus, or is he going to try to defend it, or what? I mean, in a base race scenario, Zerg would usually win. So many bases around the map. So, I don't know, we'll see what happens here. It looks like EmpireHappy making his move, going to be killing off that hatchery, but there are a lot of Broodlords back here, a lot of Corruptors. I mean, there's a lot of Vikings take those out, but I don't know if there's going to be enough. There's just so many Corruptors out here. And, well, engagement has begun. Good fungal growth on a lot of those Vikings, taking a lot of hits there. And, well, the Vikings are now pushing forward. Not going to be able to do all that much damage. And the Broodlords, I believe, are claiming the rest of this spot. The tanks trying to get away. Doing what they can, you know, they're kind of firing on those Broodlords, Broodlings, but those are not going to be so lucky. They're just way too slow. And getting cleaned up rather quickly. Alright, so lots of Corruptors out, lots of Broodlords still alive, and now it's Zerg's move to counterattack, bust in there, and just kill a lot of tanks. There's really not much EmpireHappy has against that. I mean, when you're going mech, this is kind of like the end of game. Like, if you wait too long, your opponent gets up so many Broodlords and Corruptors, there's really not much you can do about it. There really just isn't. He's just going to be able to keep threatening stuff. Take out this base, take out that base, what are you going to do about it? Because, I mean, Vikings, you know, they're good against that kind of thing, but you need a lot of Vikings. You need to switch out your factories, you need to switch out and not get so many barracks or factories, but get a lot of starports. And that's not a good feeling to have to say, okay, I just have all these useless production buildings. I'm not going to be producing that because I need a ton of Vikings. I mean, that's just not what you want to be doing, like, ever. So it's really more to the point where you don't want to get to this point where Broodlords just take over the map. That's kind of how Zerg is these days. Just Broodlords come out and it's like, oh, I can't really do much about it, you know, unless I did enough earlier on. Whereas Zerg has, of course, been the aggressor on this map since there is that mech play, just slow-moving mechs, and well, I believe there's going to be a GG kind of soon. I don't know. There should be anyway. And well, there's so many Broodlords. He's even getting that plus. He just got that plus upgrade from him as well. That's 22 damage. Well, Broodlord's getting a little too antsy, trying to get in there. There's just a lot of Vikings still alive, and a lot of Thors, actually. Thors don't really do too well against these guys, but, I mean, they are kind of pumped up right now, so the Thors doing massive amounts of damage. That's a pretty good anti-air force right there. Just lots of Vikings. See how many starports this guy has. Looks like just 2 starports. Nope, actually 4 starports. 2 with reactors, so that's, what, 6 coming out at once, which is pretty good. That's a lot of Vikings coming out, if you can support that. And, well, we'll see if Zerg decides to go for more ground-heavy force now, or he's going to keep going with those Infestor Broodlords. I don't know, Infestors are just good against Vikings in general, because you can fungal growth them and use Infested Terrans, and they're pretty weak. They don't have, like, a ton of hit points or anything like that. So, I mean, it's kind of what you want to be doing. At the same time, Corruptors can help with that, you know, lower their, what's it called? You know, make it so that they can take more damage with that corruption ability. And, what was it, 20%? Yeah, 20% for 30 seconds. 20% more damage is pretty darn huge. And, well, Vikings against that kind of mix, not going to work. So, I don't know, I do wonder what EmpireHappy is going to be doing about this. Let's get more Vikings, I suppose. I don't know, I think it's more or less like you don't want to get to this point. You want to do some pretty serious damage to Zerg earlier on. Which is why you don't see a lot of players go for this mech route. Just because, I mean, it's like, okay, I can continue to drop, you know, take out some bases, you know, like one drop you know, like 8 Marines and a medevac and take out a base, like an entire base. You know, if Zerg doesn't have enough units to spread out between the bases that you're dropping, or if he just doesn't have, you know, enough units in general, I guess, or if he's attacking or something like that, you know, it's just so much that can happen, you know, just like these Niduses, you know, can get everywhere and just bust it up, and, well, I don't know, Terran did secure another base here, I don't know, that's pretty good as well, but yeah, all these mech units moving back and forth between these bases, I mean, this is a pretty long stretch here. And, well, Niduses can just keep abusing that and being thrown up left and right. And, I mean, look at the money that... Holy crap, look at all these Broodlords, actually. And all these Corruptors. Plenty of Infestors as well. I mean, they're just, like, such a good mix of, like, awesomeness right there. And then small counterattacks with those Zerglings. Killing off a couple of SCVs and mules and all that. Let's see, 81 drones now to 50 SCVs. And EmpireHappy. I don't know, he's moving his entire army over to kill off those Niduses. I feel like that's not really the best play. But of course, if you just send a couple of tanks or something like that, you know, like a couple of roaches are just going to pop out and kill you. So, kind of like what you have to do is move your entire army. But again, what do you do? You know, like Zerg is just going to be able to abuse that. And yeah. If anybody's watching right now, and you're not Zerg, you're probably thinking, okay, Zerg just imbalanced in late game. I'd have to agree to some extent. I would say that, you know, maybe Terran, I don't know, maybe you just can't go back. Or maybe you just can't let it get to this point if you are going back. Because Broodlords just bust base. And yeah, that's a lot of dead stuff. Oh, there's a big Vikings right now. Whenever I say a big clump of units like that, I just scream like, fungal growth that. Just fungal growth that, we're storming or something. You know, totally fucking up. Anyways, just so many Vikings here, I don't believe it's going to be enough. There's just too many Broodlords and Vikings and Infestors gunking the place up. And actually, it looks like he's doing alright. You know, these Vikings do outrange Corruptors, and I mean, that's why they're so much better than them. In general, you know, when they're facing off against each other. No good fun growth's going off either, but the Broodlords doing what they came here for, taking out all the tanks, and I don't know, there's not going to be enough here. Actually, all these Broodlords are going to be cleaned up in just a minute here with all these Corruptors gone. And now I wonder what Zerg is adding on right now. He does have a couple Zerglings back there. Let's see, what was he adding on? 64 Zerglings. Another Nidus. Nidus up at the top, making sure that Terran does not take this base. You know, I see a lot of players not consider that at this point. Like, a lot of players are not used to the game going this long. You know, and that just means that both these players are so good. You know, if you see constant aggression the entire game, and it's like the game's still going, then, you know, it means that both players are just so good, able to counter each other so well. And, well, when you get to this point, you really got to keep up the pressure at these bases while attacking the fronts as Zerg, probably as Terran as well. I mean, I think that's why Navislavik is probably going to win this game, just because of that fact. But yeah, let's see, what else is, nothing else is being added on. Apparently these queens have full energy, for the record. I don't know, I get pretty tired out when I play a long game like this. This is pretty crazy. And well, the Vikings have landed, but there's a lot of Zerglings. Zerglings, of course, have better upgrades. And well, they actually did pretty well against some Zerglings. I'm pretty surprised there. Zerglings all cleaned up now. And let's see, Terran's still trying to keep that base. You know, it's really up to that base. You know, this one's almost going to be mined out. It's kind of like halfway mined out right now. Terran really has to keep this base right now. Zerg, actually, let's see, is he kind of mining out these bases as well? Let's see, this one's getting a little bit low. It's kind of like halfway. This one's not quite half. But yeah, it looks like pretty much everywhere else, except for the gold here, is pretty well mined out. So yeah, Zerg really just needs to keep up the pressure, take out this command center. Terran, of course, needs to just keep defending it. You know, Zerg's kind of run out of minerals on his side of the map. Zerg really needs to take this base if necessary. But yeah, this is the key point here, and it looks like Terran just lost his key. And he's not going to be getting into his house anytime soon because there are a lot of roaches there. Oh, okay, he's going to try to land it there, even so. And yeah, there's just not enough here for Terran. I believe there's going to be a GG pretty soon here. Well, a lot of roaches being killed off here. Roaches trying to do what they can. A couple of infested Terrans being thrown down, and well, looks like Zerg's still going to bust through. Not enough stuff here for Terran. Actually, no, the tank cleaned it up pretty well. +3 to do massive amounts of damage. 44 damage against normal stuff, 65 against armored. That's nothing to really contend with right now when you're considering ground forces. Roaches do absorb quite a bit of damage, but of course roaches are armored, so I mean they do take extra against those tanks, or from those tanks, I should say. And well, I don't know. I feel like maybe Terran could switch out to Marauders, but you kind of want to use your production buildings, so that's not the best idea. And well, Roach is going to be continuing on here, busting there. And I don't know. I think Zerg is just getting really tired at this point. Like, just doesn't want to add on more dudes. He does have a couple of ultralists coming across the field now to drone up with those roaches. And I mean, since he droned up so much, he can't really use too much of his food for his army. And actually, he's lost a few of his drones, but again, that's 75 still quite a bit. I mean, he's not maxed out right now, so I mean, it could be. But we'll see what happens. I think at this point, Zerg's just like, okay, I don't really want a macro anymore. Like, I'm sick of this. You know, we've been doing so much stuff the entire game, just like Terran is. And I'm sure both players are just really tired right now, don't want to spend their money. And, well, let's see, Ultralisk attacking the Planetary Fortress. Zergling's wrapping around, going to kill now some SCVs, I believe. Apparently just going to run right by him. Nope, not SCV now. And this Planetary Fortress Ace is going to be killed off now, finally. And yeah, this is a good game. I think EmpireHappy is kind of thinking about it, not really, you know, saying, oh, I'm going to win now. I think he's just kind of thinking about his gameplay, saying, okay, what could I have done differently? How did this game actually go? You know, is mech still usable? I don't know if he's thinking of that or not, but that'd be something I'd be thinking about. You know, is this still a good play to do? Especially on this map, you know, is it still a good play to do on this map, or is it still a good play to do against Zerg? We don't know. Because Navislavik can be abusive. Alright, so there's the GG, EmpireHappy. You know, once again, a very good Terran player on the European server. I believe he's ranked #1 on the Grandmasters League. So, I mean, he's not someone you want to just mess with. But Navislavik taking 2 wins off him out of 3 games. EmpireHappy, wow, I screwed that up. Taking 1 win out of this 3-game set. And if you can't tell, I'm pretty well tired right now, and I'm kind of out of breath. So, I'm going to stop casting now. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Check out my other casts. I mean, they are on, twitch.tv/SC2Magic. You can check out all my replays there, all my casts there, and all that good stuff. So, I don't know, if you're watching from Team Liquid or something like that, that's the place to be if you want to check out some more good stuff. And yeah, hopefully I'll be continuing on my casting. Lately I've just kind of been choosing days and casting on those days, and lately it has been pretty much every Sunday. So if you don't really know when, and you kind of need to know when, then probably Sunday is a good bet to say I'm going to be casting. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and this is